Imagine running 10 kilometers every single morning, barefoot, through freezing mountain fog just to reach a school that didn't even have clean water. I didn't have shoes. I didn't have breakfast. I owned exactly one piece of clothing. Most people would call that a nightmare. To me, it was the only way to find the light. My name is Megi, and before I was a CEO, I was a child. I was a child who refused to stay in the dark. I wasn't born in a city of glass and steel. I was born in a place where the sun went to sleep early because there was no electricity. To us, clean water wasn't a tap. It was a 1-hour trek to a muddy river. My father was a humble pastor. My mother a housewife. We had no money. We had no fancy clothes. In fact, for my entire childhood, I lived in one skin, my school uniform. That thin fabric was my armor and my only possession. Every morning, the air was like ice. I had no jacket, no sweater. I would run 10 kilometers, not for exercise, but for survival. By the time I reached the classroom, my fingers were so numb I could barely hold a pencil. By the time I walked back in the afternoon, the sun had turned the dirt road into fire under my bare feet. I lived between the freezing dawn and the burning dusk, but my mind was focused on one thing: the books on my desk. Here is the secret. I loved every grueling second of it. School was my sanctuary. I didn't have a penny in my pocket, but I became the richest person in that building. I chose excellence as my currency. I became the student with the highest grades in our history. Because of that effort, my father, a man the world called poor, stood on a stage holding the best family trophy. A village pastor honored by everyone, because his son refused to fail. I proved that where you start doesn't define where you end. I thought the 10-kilometer runs were the biggest mountain I would ever climb, but I was wrong. I had to leave my village for the city, and that is where the real darkness, the betrayal, and the sickness began. You won't believe how God turned my pain into a purpose. Hit that subscribe button right now so you don't miss part 2.